Welcome, Trekkers, and welcome to my Star Trek Wrath of Khan. The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. I've been watching this tonight in glorious 4K, of course. It's a great looking movie, by the way. I watched the director's cut of this film. Yeah, good movie, good solid Star Trek movie. The Wrath of Khan is a 1982 American science fiction film directed by Nicholas Meyer, based on the television series. The second Star Trek film series following the Star Trek motion picture is a sequel to the original series, episode Space Seed, 1967. The plot features Admiral James C. Kirk, William Shatner, and the crew of the Star Trek USS Enterprise face off against genetically engineered tyrant Khan, played by Ricardo Montalban. When Khan escapes from 15-year exile to exact revenge on Kirk, the crew of the Enterprise must stop him from acquiring a powerful terraform device named Genesis. The film is the beginning of a three-film story arc that continues with the film Search for Spock and concluding the film's Star Trek for the Voyage Home. Look at the plot. Okay, right. Starring William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelly, James Duham, Walter Koenig, George Takei, Nicholas Nichols, B.B. Beach, Merritt Buttrich, Paul Winfield. I'm butchering some of these names. Kirstie Allen, who actually recently passed away, of course. She's good at this. She plays the original Sarah. Ricardo Bondabang. Music Jim Horner. Language English. 12-minute cost. It actually cost a little bit less. I think it cost a little bit less than the original the film. But it made 97 million, which is very good. 130 minutes. Okay. In 2285, Admiral James C. Kirk oversees a simulator session of Captain Spock's training in the simulation. Lieutenant Savick, commander of the Star Trek Enterprise, on a rescue mission to save the crew of the damaged ship Carbonishimura, but is attacked by Klingon crews and critically damaged. This mission is a non-win scenario designed to test the character of Starfleet officers. Later, Dr. McCoy visits Kirk on his birthday, seeing Kirk in a low spirits due to his age. The Doctor advises Kirk to get a new command instead of growing old behind a desk. Meanwhile, the Starship Reliant is on and risking to search for a lifeless planet to test the Genesis device, technically designed to reorganize dead matter into habitable worlds. Reliance Captain Clark Terrell and Commander Officer Commander Officer Pavel Chekhov beamed down to evaluate a planet they believe to be Ceti Alpha 6. Once they are captured by the engineered tyrant Khan, explaining they are on Ceti Alpha 5. 15 years prior, Kirk exiled Khan and his fellow. Explaining they are on 15 years prior, Kirk exiled Khan and his fellow Superman to Ceti Alpha 5 after they attempted to take over the Enterprise. The neighboring planet exploded, devastating the surface of Ceti Alpha 5. Khan implants Chekhov and Terrell with genital larvae, which killed several of his followers, including his wife. Render them. Okay, right. So them unsuspicious. I can't even for that. To mind control and uses them to capture Reliant. Learning of the Genesis device, Khan attacks space station Negula 1, where where the device is being developed by Kirk's former lover, Dr. Carol Marcus, and their son David. So I'll leave it up to that because I'm having trouble reading. I don't know why. So this film takes place. No, this film takes place just after the last movie was. It's years after. Anyway, so anyway. So in this film, you see at the beginning, it seems like this test thing that Savik's doing on the Enterprise. I first think it's real. You know, I know I've seen the film before, but if you've never seen this film before, you think it's real because anyway. So they're on this she's on this doing this test run. Of course, Captain Kirk's actually passed it by a tune. Of course, it explains that later on. And of course, everyone's getting killed. You know, the Klingons attacking, and then Kirk pops up, of course, in this, of course, and of course, and then later on in the film, you see, you know, they're all like having this like drink and stuff. This like Captain Kirk, Bones, and all that, and of course, Bones brings this like illegal drink, Romulan drink. Of course, it's like blue drink. It's legal anyway. It's not legal, and of course, Captain Kirk's like, well, you know, he's like, you know, it's like about getting old and stuff like. And William Shatner's great in this, and it's just great to watch. He's great. He's good in this. His performance is good. It's fantastic, and they're all great in this movie. They're all really good. Of course, later on in the film, the Reliant turns to this orbits this planet. They think it's another planet, but it's like the planet that they left Khan on, and of course they beam down with the captain down there with Chekhov and stuff. And they find one of the things that they're living in. It's just you know, they find something. You know, they'll go inside this I think it's a shuttle, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, they end up on this planet, and of course they find a damaged ship. When they end up going inside, Chekhov realise that he knows exactly where it is, Khan. And then he tells the captain, "We've got to leave this place," of course. And then so anyway, they end up going outside of the ship, and there's like people waiting for them outside, and of course. Turns out to be Khan, of course. The guy who plays Khan is fantastic. Can't pronounce his damn name. Anyway, so he's great in this. The guy who plays Khan. He's fantastic. It's really good acting. Strong. And then anyway, they end up putting this stuff in the ear, and it actually controls the head, brain and stuff like that. So, what is that word called? You know, mind control and stuff like that. And of course, they want to get the information from the station, the Genesis information, of course. And anyway, so they end up trying to you know, communicate with the station, of course, and they're like saying that Kirk wants the information, and so lying to them, and they're like, what that? And the thing is, and this guy you meet who's you meet a guy called David, who's like the son of Captain Kirk and his mum, Dr. Carol Marcus, and they're like, what are you talking about? And they're trying to communicate with the Enterprise, asking why you want the information and stuff. Hand it over to the so anyway, they think that Captain Kirk wants the, you know, all that. And the Federation and stuff, and the Starfleet, they want the information about the Genesis, and they're the everything to the Captain Kirk on. Of course, it's all a trap, of course. After they use the mind control of the bug things onto Chekhov and his captain, they end up somehow getting back on the ship using that. So Khan is on the Reliant now. He tries, and later on in the film, the space station is got communication back from the Reliant, and Chekhov is talking to thing about the giving their information. Taking their information about the Genesis off them, they're kind of like, and they're like saying it's Captain Kirk and all that wants the information, of course. And they're like, what is going off? We're going to take the information off you, all that. And they're like, they're coming this way, and of course later on in the film, the Enterprise intercepts the Reliant, and of course they're thinking, what's going off? So you have the Enterprise and the Reliant going towards each other. And they're thinking something not right. And anyway, so the Reliant ends up attacking the Enterprise. And yeah, it's a good scene actually. I think some of the battle scenes in this film are fantastic, especially the Reliant and the Enterprise. Absolutely fantastic. Great effects, model effects, no CGI of course. And the film looks great still. Even on 4K it looks great. Especially at the beginning of the film. Actually, at the beginning of the film, when you watch it, they actually see the Enterprise. They use the same scene from the first film, which I don't mind actually. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, there's like a battle between the ships. Of course, the Enterprise gets more crippled in it, and there's like explosions, and then the Khan comes on the view screen, telling him, he wants to like. Of course, he says, Captain Kirk's like, I'll be on board, leave my crew alone, of course, and Finger wants the information. Of course, it turns out Khan hasn't got the information from the station. He's been there, and he's not, he's not said nothing. He says that he wants the information from the Enterprise, and they're like, Kirk's like, no idea what you're on about. And then it's like, okay, fine, we'll just, it's going to take a time to give information back to them. And of course, Kirk has a plan. Kirk has always got a plan, and this plan works brilliantly by shutting the shields off. By shutting the shields off from the ship, because he's got the information, like the codes and stuff, to lower their shields, to balance the little few, take a little bit of a shot at the Reliant. I think it's fantastic when he does it. And it works. Even things like, one of the characters says, "You're sure they haven't changed the codes? Khan's quite smart, but they haven't." So they never even thought about that idea. So anyway, lower the shields down, and they take a shot at the Reliant, which I thought was fantastic. And the ships, anyway, so it kind of evens things off a little bit by damaging the other ship. I think it was fantastic. Anyway, so they end up at the station, of course. The beam inside there with Sarek and all that, and Kirstie Allen's character, I think she plays it really well, that character. I really do. I think she's great in it. And of course, they find dead bodies on there. So it's kind of a horror. This kind of scene kind of turns into a horror film, bodies and stuff. And I think it's cool. It kind of gets a bit creepy, not just dark. It gets a bit dark. The scene does. And of course, find all these bodies, all these Starfleet officers, not Starfleet officers, the people on the station. Of course, the Starfleet officers on the Reliant are actually on the planet, so they have to go back later on to pick them up. So anyway, they find all the bodies, of course, and they find a way to manipulate the whole, turn the situation on its head against them, using their like arrogance against them by so that they can't beam off the ship. So anyway, when they find Chekhov, and the captain on about like this thing's been put in there. And it still turns out they're actually still controlled. So anyway, they end up beaming down to this like it's, I don't know what, it's like a planet. It's like a, so anyway, they beam down to this thing with David and Carol, the Doctor are, and of course, turns out they're still being controlled. The two characters, and one of the characters, the captain kills one of the characters in the thing, and then he kills himself afterwards because Khan's telling him to kill him, of course. And of course, Chekhov, it starts to like, he feels pain in his ear, and he drops down, and there's like his thing pops up in from his ear, and they have to kill it, of course. Yeah, so that scene was really well done, actually. I remember watching the making of, and they actually see they have this massive ear, and the effects are really good, actually. When you watch it, you think the effects are still good in this film. They really are well done. So they have to use Khan's arrogance against him in this. I like the way they did it. And that's how good these Star Trek films were. They're so clever. And yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I really did. I just think it's fantastic. I like it. I just love the storyline. The acting's really good in this. And the Kirk is just like, if you're coming for me, Khan, come for me. It's just fantastic. William Shatner's great in this. It's fantastic. Has a few surprise sadness and stuff. This film has everything. Excitement, tension, and sad ending to it. So yeah. So anyway, Khan just ends up getting the Genesis device beamed onto his ship, and of course they have to escape into the. Anyway, so they all beam onto the Enterprise, and then up going into the Nebula. So then there's like a cat and mouse scene in it with the battle between the Reliant and the Enterprise, and I think it's fantastic. And so anyway, they go to the Nebula, and the effects in this film are fantastic. The Nebula effects, and when you watch it on 4K, you think, God, these effects are fantastic. It kind of looks like the Nebula from Next Generation, where they go against the Borg, and they go in there, and the Borg can't come in. And when they go in it affects the view screen, the sensors and stuff on the ships, which balances things out from the Enterprise. Because Captain Kirk's like, I think you said it now. It balances things out on the ship, so they both can't see each other. But Captain Kirk uses his like, you know, skill and stuff like to go, because so anyway, you're going against Captain Kirk, you're going to lose, you know, and that's what he does. He uses Khan's arrogance, and you're going to come in. First of all, he's like, you know, reluctant to go in, and he goes, you know, Captain Kirk comes onto the thing and says, you know what, if you can come for me, come for me, you know, and he goes for him. So, and there's like a cat and mouse, you know, submarine battle scene on the. It's just, well, it's such a well done scene, and that's what it reminds me of, you know, battle scene between the two submarines underwater. This one's in space and it's fantastic. It's really well done. Some fantastic action scenes in this. It really is. Some good visual effects. Good performance. Great freaking dialogue. I mean, this film's got everything in it. Great directing from the director. The guy who directed it. He directed like the Star Trek 6 film. That's why that one's so good too. But like all the Star Trek movies, each one's different. And this one was really good. Good story. Good performances. Great action. Great finale. So anyway, they have a battle and they get really badly damaged at the end in Reliant, and the problem is the Enterprise gets really badly damaged too, so they're both like, they think at warp speed, so they can't activates the Genesis device, and they've only got like not much, they've only got about, I don't know, they only got a few minutes before the thing explodes. Spock goes into the warp, where the warp drive is, and he fixes it by going in the thing. There's like stuff coming out and you know, radiation stuff like, and that ends up killing him, of course. And that scene was really well done, because you got a character who, you know, who kind of, he doesn't have emotion, but at the same time he shows that he cares for the crew in this. He does, you can tell, because he saves everyone in this film, and that's how human he actually is. More human than you expect, because he's like half human, half Vulcan, but in this, he actually shows more human side of his character. Even if he's a little bit, you know, being human, you know, no one's perfect, you know, but it's just a really well done scene, because it shows how human he really is. Even if he doesn't show it, he you know, he goes, you know, he just does, you know, it's just like, he has this kind of like, oh, he has this like wiseness about his character. He's just a wise character. He's just really well developed character in this, and in this he's really well developed, because you got a character who doesn't like to show emotion, doesn't like to, you know, all that kind of stuff, but in this he kind of goes, you know what, I'm gonna put my life on the line to save everyone. So he doesn't have to cry, doesn't have to, just, you know, just does what he does. And anyway, so he ends up going to the engineer, and he does the Vulcan nerve pinch on McCoy, and he does it like, remember that. And it kind of plays out on the next film after that. And of course, anyway, so he fixes the warp drive, of course, and they end up warping drive out of there, getting the hell out of there right now. And that scene was real well done. I love the effect. I love them when Khan's like, yeah, you know, like he's gonna get his own way, and he doesn't. In this, Captain Kirk pisses him off quite a few times. You know, he gets really on his nerves. And then when Captain Kirk has the last word afterwards, he goes, "Get the hell out of here," you know. And it's great. The visual effects in this and the explosions are fantastic. And then this explosion creates like a planet, like a life form, I suppose. Yeah, so it creates this new planet, of course. Of course, problem is, Spock dies, and of course, Captain goes to the engine room, and then of course, yeah, he's all like it's got badly radiation, poison and stuff like that, and yeah, he dies there. And then that scene was well done, because it's like a glass thing, and they're both like, you know, almost like right close to each other. And it's a sad scene. It's, you know, it's one of the scenes that it's done really well. I mean, when you watch the making of it, how they did it, it's incredible. And the performance is great. Captain William Shatner is great. This Leonard Nimoy, fantastic. They've just both got great chemistry, both of them. Wonderful. And you can feel the friendship between those two. You can just feel it when, you know, especially, you know, if they're like separated by glass, you can still feel it. And the fact that shows you that Spock is more human than you expect. His human side actually I suppose in a way his human side lost at the end, you know, of course. But yeah, it's just a really well cut. But yeah, it's his human side that actually saved him, I would say. And the last part with his body gets, Yeah, the shooter. He's in like a proton torpedo, and they shoot him out onto the planet. So, and then the last part was pretty cool, where you see the planet and stuff, and then you see like the planet with Spock his last his grave, well, where his body is, and of course, I love that scene where you see his like torpedo, and you think, and then Spock's voice. These are the voyages of such Enterprise, yeah, and it's just wonderful because yeah, he's still alive, I wonder. So yeah, it kind of plays out for the next one. So yeah, it's just a great scene, and the performances are great. Captain Kirk, fantastic. William Shatner's great. They're all great. The guy who plays Khan, fantastic. It's just a wonderful, fantastic, really well-made film with great characters in it. It's like Starship, that Starship. It feels like kind of like a more darker movie to the last one, a bit darker. Really well, because the film it's a great movie, full stop. Great acting, great action, great performances, and yeah, I loved it. I can say a lot about this film. It's just fantastic. Great performances, wonderful constructed scenes. Those little things that go in the ears. I just think that's great. That's creepy. So the last part was great. There's a lot of good scenes in that. And it starts at Chris, which is his son. So yeah, it's a really good film. It's really good. I just love it. It's great. Last part was great with the warp speed and out of there. It's fantastic. The battle scene between the Reliant and the Enterprise, fantastic. Some great model effects, the ships and stuff, fantastic. So what I didn't like about it, yeah, nothing I disliked about this movie. It's just so good. What I liked about it, great visual effects, great characters, great performance from the cast, great model effects. It's just fantastic. Great story. It's kind of like a continuation from the original series. From that episode, and yeah, it's wonderful. It's such a wonderful story. It's fantastic. Yeah, awesome. Loved it. Fantastic. So the rating I want to give this film, Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, is a 4.5 out of 5. Fantastic movie. Yeah, awesome movie. So whenever you want to go off now for a bit, subscribe to my channel. And like I said, Wrath of Khan gets a 4.5 out of 5. Really love that film. Great movie. Remember to subscribe to Retribution Prime. Remember my gaming channel, of course. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Beat me up, Sky. And thank you for watching. And hit that like button. Thank you.